Hello farmers, welcome back to the Pacific Northwest. We are busy in the lower plateau on the east side. As you can see, our harvester now is up here harvesting our new field, or one of our new fields, with canola. So I'm going to go ahead and empty it out. We're done with the corn harvest. I got the T8. He's on the last field spreading some lime there. The John Deere with balloon tires is on behind him plowing. The quad is behind him cultivating, so we're getting all set. We're getting ready to grab the John Deere once he's done plowing the second field. We're getting ready to grab him to extend the field 34? No, 32 into 34. So that's what we're getting ready to do. I just want to make sure the combine is free to go. This field here will be eventually cotton along with that one over there, but right now that can go park there. I have sold the pigs. Let me bring up the HUD for you. I got the speed down to ×1 because I'm just too busy and I don't want to lose track of time today. Yeah, I sold the pigs. So we're down to our usual 340 or whatever the heck it is I get down to. But our money is up to almost $500,000. While I was over there, I had to take care of the greenhouses as well. The greenhouses were just pretty much emptied out. Are you done here, sir, ma'am, whoever? Yes? All right, you're good to go. So I took care of the greenhouses and also our vineyard. We were getting kind of, well, we weren't making grapes at all, and I'm getting kind of low on grapes over at the winery. So I got that back up and running, so used some manure from the hog barn. Of course, refill. I did a little bit with the potatoes, not too much. I did one cycle and I went, yeah, that's enough for today. Move on to the big project. The big project here. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to wait and have you. Yeah, I'm just talking to myself. Well, I'm always talking to myself, right? But I'm literally talking to myself, trying to figure out how to want to do this. I got to take care of a headland here, just because our weeder that we have, the big weeder from the, I always pronounce it wrong, and I don't see the name, the Bolgart DLC, that nice 30-meter wide weeder. Yeah, the tip of that, you can probably see it sticking out of Alien Jim's shed there. Yes, the tongue of it is sticking out just a little bit into the field, and every piece of equipment they go to turn around, it's like, hey, I'm blocked by an object. Yeah, and they're not really blocked by it, but it's close enough. So we're going to wait on that. But once the John Deere is done, let's bring up the map of the treasure map, I guess we can kind of call it. So yeah, so field 32 into 34, I am spreading lime down in this field right here. Because, well, one, it needs lime, and I'll continue on over here. But yeah, we are going to expand 32 into 34, kind of square it all off, and then I'll spread lime in this field here. As for the barley that's planted here, it's got weeds in it. There's no fertilization on it. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to spread lime all along here, because once I plow here, of course, well, you know, you plow a new field's going to need lime. I'm going to spread lime on this field as well, just so the whole field is in sync. I don't want, you know, right now it doesn't need lime, and I'm not harvesting it, but I don't want to spread lime all around it and then do my next harvest and have this little patch like it needs lime, and then I'm going back and forth. So we're just going to do the whole field. Basically, we're going to treat field 34 right now as if there's no crop in it whatsoever. Yeah, there's barley in it now, and that's what I'm going to replant into it, but yeah, we're just going to reset that complete field. So all the corn, I got a good amount of corn. I shouldn't say a good amount of corn. A decent amount of corn in the silo for our pigs. There's a pigs, 332 to be exact. So if you can remember last week, which is a long time ago, it's like 7 days ago, right? So yeah, the stats on the pigs didn't look that, you know, we were like halfway, and we gave them tons of corn. But then when I sold 164 pigs that I sell, now their food looks pretty darn good. They could use some straw and whatnot, but overall they're doing good. As for the horses, am I doing okay? The cows could use a little bit of attention there. The horses, a couple more days on these horses here, which means money. Money will be coming in pretty darn good. Yeah, the horses are looking good everywhere. These horses are a ways off, but we haven't played that many days since we sold all the horses. The sheep are doing what the sheep do. Am I maxed out on no, we're not maxed out on sheep. We're fine. The chickens, yeah, they're all looking fine, right? For the most part. Yes, they are. So the cows, they could use some TMR, some water, some straw, but nothing that's we're in a major hurry for. Is that John Deere not done yet? Come on, John Deere. You got a couple more passes before we're ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit here for a minute. We're waiting for the John Deere. We're going to grab the John Deere and get some GPS going and try to make this field as square and lined up with field 32 as we can. Once I get the whole cycle around, I still got to, this field right here is ready to go. 29/30 is ready to go, except I got to spray cow manure on it. So probably I'll find a tractor somewhere. I got all the tractors in use down here right now, so we're all kind of busy. But yeah, we'll eventually get reseeding some barley in these fields here for our bakery. And I don't know what I'm going to do. We're harvesting canola. What's the price of canola going for today? Well, the price is going up. So I may just sell it outright, or if I'm too busy, we may just store it. It's still early in the day, so it'll take a little while, but I'll see you in just a second. We need the John Deere with the plow. The plow is now mine. Let's expand this field here, which sounds pretty good to say in this farm, just because expanding a field does mean, well, more way to plant some crops and make some cash. Someone is got an empty tank, and that's got to be the not the John Deere. The T8 over here. Yeah, you never can finish that field, can you? All right, I need to take care of this right now so he can finish up and he can follow behind us to lime the rest of the field. So once again, give me just a second. All right, a little bit more than a minute. Had to fill up, of course, the lime spreader, and of course the CR1090 was almost full of canola on field 35. So let me go ahead and get GPS kind of set up here with the John Deere. Not far enough. How about now? There we go. I've been getting a few requests lately to do a little bit more with some John Deere equipment, and I know that I don't use it as much as most people like. And I'll try to incorporate it a little bit more. As few people want me to do a whole John Deere farm. Yep, lost my train of thought here. Let's set the track. I should have it on expand fields. Looks like I do. I'm going to try to get it lined up as well as I can with the top of this field here. And then since that barley's only in stage 1, I'm not too concerned about it, so I may just I don't need to plow it, but definitely I should spread some lime on it just to make sure that this field is all in sync. And of course, once that crop there of soybean is ready, we'll merge fields 35 and 33 together. Expand field 33 out just a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to quite do the top half of this yet. Let's pick this up. And just be careful, because if I dig in anywhere, it's going to create a field, because I got allowed to create fields on. Now we're going to go to the other side, since GPS is kind of set up in this general direction. Yes, you are done. Well, you're kind of done, Mr. T8. Are you far enough off the field? I'm going to have to move you. I think you might be far enough off the field here. Perfect. And move the GPS over this way, please. Probably should back up just a little bit so I can make sure. That's pretty close, but I'm going to be a little bit more particular. Somewhere in there. It looks good. Put the plow down. All right, it's going to be just a tiny bit wider, but that's fine. It's close enough for me. Yeah, I was thinking about at one point putting some factories over here. But honestly, I think we got enough factories here. I thought about doing the Pepsi factory again. I know I probably talked about this before, putting that in the upper plateau, but really, the new Pepsi factory requires pallets and carton, I do believe, or it's just pallets, I can't remember. But I did check on the new Pepsi factory. It looks the same as the old one. It says requirements on it. And I thought, well, it may just get laggy up here. And honestly, now to run one more factory, I got to put down another one to make cartons. And I was thinking, I got enough work to do. I don't really... The tree farm has been kind of sitting idle because it hasn't rained lately. I kind of forgot. Yeah, that button there. Okay, I was like, how do I get it to change course? That's how you get it to change course. Point A. And you got to go about 15 meters worth. Alt R. Actually, I think I'm lined up. I don't want to say perfectly, but well enough. And let's back up to where roughly this corner is here. Lock in GPS. And right there is good. Lower the plow. Alright, so the plow, that's fine. If I be very careful, I can always go ahead and paint it back in. And yes, I'm going to plow this field right on in. Because one, I should get like a stage of fertilization out of that. Do I not get a stage of fertilization out of that? Yes, I do. So we'll eliminate some area that I got to fertilize. At least on one cycle. So last week was a very productive week here on the Pacific Northwest anyways. Spending $2.5 million at least on these 3 fields that we're kind of working in. And we did have a little extra cash left over to get our loan officially under $30 million. So now it's just a little bit of a challenge to get it below $20 million. And even when I say just get it below $20 million, it does sound like a big number, and it kind of is. But also, no, I can't turn that off yet. Or can I? Yes, I can. All right, it'll work. There we go. Yeah, it sounds like a small number only because we start with a $55 million loan. I remember when I started at Hawke's Bay with kind of like the same concept that I'm kind of doing here. But on Hawke's Bay, we started with a $20 million loan. I'm like, ooh, that's a big one. But we seem to do all right in that one there. And I remember doing a lot of cotton, so that kind of helped us out. So that's why, and we kind of had a storyline here to start off the series, but now since my loan is not actually paying off to the bank, it's paying off the investors that put the money in towards the farm. So that's why we don't really hear from people like Bill Buck, who works at the bank, because the loan is actually through the investors, not the bank itself. Alright, let's get one pass in this way here, just so I make sure. I just feel better once it's boxed in. And yeah, we're going to plow this whole section in here, even the field that's there, just so I can make sure. I still got to plow the field to the left-hand side of us where it's been lined. I still need to plow that. But the reason why I haven't plowed it first, because I want to get this field in, and I can get the T8 rocking and rolling, liming this, and I can finish plowing that down there, or a worker can. Yeah, and the odd thing is I'm running out of tractors. I may actually have to use the quad to start seeding a field or spreading fertilizer just to get some work done down here. Just a lot of little extra work that I need to do down here, and once we get like the fields expanded, and I won't have to plow them again until I plant corn again. It's just unfortunate that I needed corn for the pigs, so we did corn, which meant we had to plow the fields afterwards, and also at the same time, well, it was the 3rd cycle, so the fields need lime, so just a lot of extra work we need to do down here. But it's all good, and we got some corn for the pigs for a while. As you saw the pig stats anyways, they're doing rather well, just like everything else. As for the rest of the farm right now today, everything is GTG, good to go. The west side is will need some weeding done on it. With certain sections of our cotton field, a very small certain section of it, does have stage 1 weeds in it, but such a small area, and I said, well, I don't have the time to bring the weeder over to take care of them, so we're just going to wait until all the fields get stage 1 weeds on it, except that little section will be stage 2. If I feel like it, I'll bring our herbicide sprayer over and we'll take care of it, but if not, it's not that much of a field to do. And as for the upper plateau, I think that's all taken care of. All the fields in the upper plateau have been double fertilized, so they're good. As for weeding, I think we are done weeding up there as well. I think we are. Man, this field just got really, really... I mean, this field in front of us, field 32, was a decent-sized field to begin with. I have seen a couple of people, what they did was they took all these fields down here and just made one huge field and just doing cotton and stuff like that. Basically cotton in it. This is the great thing I've always liked. When I first saw this map, I liked about the map the way he designed it. And I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but with the upper and lower plateau, you have the choice when you start playing on the map. If you want to start small, yeah, you can start with the upper plateau. Small fields up there is perfect. If you want to start big and just do big fields, well, you can start down here in lower plateau and get a whole bunch of things done. Eventually, in the upper plateau, even though there's small fields to work with, you can plow them in and have decent-sized fields up there as well. But that's why I like the map, because you can have a small farm and a large farm. Basically, I break it down to 3 sections: the upper plateau, then we got the lower plateau, east and west side. I kind of divide up in 3 little sections for myself. It works for me. But hopefully by the end of this in-game day, our barley fields, or our cereal crop fields, as I'm probably going to end up calling them eventually, which feed our bakery, they should be all planted by the end of the day, which is kind of easy when I'm running at 1 time to speed here. And eventually, whenever field 33 is ready for harvest, yeah, well, it's not going to take too long to merge those 2 together either. It's just a matter of, I haven't checked field 35 yet to see if that needs lime. But if either one of them need lime, then we'll go ahead and spread lime on, after the merge, the entire field. Of course, where I plow and merge them together, it will need lime, but I think I won't bother liming that until the big sections of the field need lime. So I'll lose a little bit of production out of it, but it's not that much. It's just basically the little strip down between the 2 fields I need to merge together. I can't really extend field 33 closer to this one because, well, I wanted this one to line up with field 32. I may extend it out a little bit because, as you can see, we got a little bit of grass between the quote-unquote road that comes up to our house and the field itself, so I will expand it out a little bit this way. And I did see the symbol that our combine is almost full again. So I'm probably going to end up with a little bit more than 100. I forgot how much was in the trailer when I just unloaded it. That's great. Let's see, 30, then 70, so let's take 50. Yeah, so probably like 130,000 liters of canola I got off that field, I think. That's what it's going to be. But that's why we're kind of riding in the John Deere. Like I said earlier, a lot of people said, can you use more John Deere? And like, well, I do have a, I almost called it a T8, an 8R on the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, that's pretty much usually on autopilot for us. It's usually doing something down here for us. I said we can use that. I do have the John Deere Combine on Green Mountain Forest, which last week when I started one of the episodes of Green Mountain Forest, I said, welcome to the Pacific Northwest. And that's what you get for bulk recording in a day. You kind of, after a while, forget what map you're on, and not paying attention. I didn't even catch it when I was editing the video. So it's like, yeah, all right, there's my intro. All right, sounds good. All right, we're good to go. But as for the topic of the John Deeres, I do like the looks of the John Deere tractors. As for the John Deere combines, not really a big fan of the John Deere combine look. Actually, my favorite combine in the game right now, I'm not using on any of my maps. So, yeah, I know, the CR1090, I had a discussion about this, a few episodes ago, maybe a few weeks ago, that the CR1090 used to be my favorite combine. I still love it, but it's not my favorite. Not anymore. Alright, so I'm going to finish up this field here, and then we'll get the T8 rocking and rolling, spreading some lime down in this field here, and he can go finish plowing off that field there. Probably, fingers crossed, and we might be selling that canola, or I may just put it in storage, I don't know yet. But yeah, I'll see you in just a little bit, and we'll get close to wrapping up this episode. Well, the field's going to look just a little bit funny because right in front of us, as you can see, some of the crop has hit stage 2, which means I'm destroying it before I actually plow it, so I'm not actually getting fertilization from some of this crop, so I'm getting like little stripes in the field. So I think when it comes time to fertilizing it, I'm just going to have to fertilize the whole thing and just act like it doesn't have some stages of fertilization on it. As for the T8 did not want to spread lime down, and then it hit me is because I'm creating a field and the game does not understand that there's a field there yet. So trying to hire a worker in a field you just created, if you have problems, sometimes what you got to do is you got to save the game, exit, reload the game, and then the save game will calculate where the fields are, so it knows where the workers know where the edge of the fields are. If you run course play, it's kind of like the same concept. Sometimes when you expand the field, you have to kind of like create a course, and course play will figure out where the edges of the fields are. So sometimes you got to reload the game if you create a field before it realizes where the field actually is. Anywho, I don't know if my combine finished over there or not, or I'm going to have to go, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just fire that worker for now, or relieve them their duties. My trailer is actually full, so that's 120,000, and of course 60,000, so that's 180,000 liters of canola, so probably 200, yeah, I was kind of under on that. Yeah, there's a little wonderful lines of me destroying the crop before I plowed to get the stage of fertilization. So yeah, I tried hiring the T8. The T8 didn't go anywhere because it doesn't know the field's actually here. So, whoops, I need to jump back over here. The John Deere, the engine just shut off just as I got into it. Perfect. Yeah, the John Deere is now, we are done with it, but he's not done. He needs to plow the field now on the other side. Now this field looks, oh man. I just realized planting, is that soybean ready? That soybean looks like it's ready over there. Roger. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so now when I plant the soybean over here, wheat and barley over here, we're going to get a lot of straw. So I'm probably going to be baling a lot of straw and selling it. I do need it for the cows and horses and the pigs. But overall, are you going to understand that you need to... I don't have the HUD on. That you don't quite understand because you need to go at least to here. There you go. Now you're fine. No, I'm not blocking it. Well, yes I am. There you go. Now you're all set. Now we are going to jump into, well, the T8. My lovely little T8. We don't need no beacons here. And I'm going to do this without GPS, so it's going to be kind of a terrible job, more than likely. But we'll get it done. Yeah, so I need to finish liming this whole section up. That way it's all in sync with each other. So what I'm going to be doing probably between episodes, not really much, other than take care of the harvest of the canola in field 35, put that stuff away, and get the combine running over to field 33, get that going, rocking and rolling, just so we can merge those fields together pretty soon as well. Once the John Deere is done plowing this field, I guess I'll just call this field 32 at this point. 34 and 32 are now together, and yeah, we'll merge fields 33 and 35 together once we get that all harvested, put away. And then of course, right now I did check, field 35 does not require to be plowed or limed or anything like that, so that is ready to rock and roll. It's just a matter of what does field 33 need. And if field 33 needs lime, then the whole field, once after we merge it, is going to get lime. So just want to make sure everything's in sync. It just bugs me when I check a field and it's like, oh, half needs lime, half doesn't. That just kind of bugs me. As for weeds, yeah, that does bug me a little bit, but not as much. Like the cotton field over on the west side, I mean, it has a little bit of weeds in it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to bring all my equipment over there just to do a 10-second job with that weeder that we have now. To me, isn't worth it. But yeah, at least in between episodes, I'll get this field finished, limed up, get that harvest done, field 35 done, and then probably at least start field 33 harvesting. And hopefully by then, I'll probably have the T8, once we finish done spreading lime, the T8 will have the manure spreader. And I don't know how much manure I have. I guess I can start stealing some from the hog barn because they got a good amount over there. And I just filled the greenhouses today, so they're good for like 3 days. So I can steal some manure from there. I don't think I have enough manure to spread on the entire lower east side over here. That's going to be a lot of manure. I could do slurry, but that sprayer is over on the west side, and I don't know if I want to transfer it back and forth. But I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how it goes little by little. It's free fertilizer. Try to use it, but if I run out, then I'll just have to use the sprayer at some point. Not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, I think the money's going to start coming in really good, especially once we get that cotton field going over next to us over here. And we have 2 cotton fields going. Yeah, that's going to work out pretty good, especially with the self-marketing that we have in the upper plateau, and we can get almost $2,000 per 1,000 liters. It's going to work really well for us. But yeah, I'm going to just keep on going here, spreading some lime. I would like to hire a worker, but the worker won't know that there's a field here, so I need to go ahead and finish it on up. But that's what we're going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you next time right here in the Pacific Northwest. But until then, have a good one.